Welcome to the Embracing Vulnerability, Building Deeper Connections in Adulthood podcast. I'm your host Vince, and I'm excited to share my personal journey with you as we explore the power of vulnerability in creating more meaningful connections with the people in our lives. Now, I know the word vulnerability might be intimidating to some, especially for those of us who have had experiences with teasing, judgment, or criticism growing up. But I'm here to tell you that it's possible to overcome those fears and embrace vulnerability as an adult. As someone who has been in the same boat, I understand how tough it can be to open up after years of being afraid to let people in. I've experienced the emotional walls we build to protect ourselves from getting hurt, and I know what it's like to struggle with trust and openness in relationships. But I've also learned that vulnerability is the key to deeper connections with friends, family, and partners. It's the foundation for empathy, compassion, and understanding, and ultimately, it's what allows us to experience the richness of human connection. So let's start by exploring why vulnerability is so important. When we're vulnerable, we're able to share our authentic selves with others. We can express our emotions, our fears, our dreams, and our struggles without the fear of judgment. This creates an environment where trust and understanding can flourish, leading to more meaningful relationships and personal growth. During this podcast series, we'll be discussing topics like understanding the roots of our fears, embracing self compassion, and establishing trusting relationships, taking small steps towards vulnerability and celebrating progress while embracing setbacks. My goal is to empower you, the listener, to recognize that vulnerability isn't a weakness, but a strength. I'll share my own experiences as well as actionable steps that you can take to start your journey towards vulnerability and deeper connections with those around you. I want to start by sharing a little bit about my own story. Growing up, I was often teased and judged by my peers and even my own family. It was tough, and it made me afraid to express my emotions or let anyone see the real me. I built up walls to protect myself, and as a result, my relationships suffered. It wasn't until I reached adulthood that I realized the importance of vulnerability in creating the kind of connections I longed for. I began to recognize that, in order to build deeper relationships with others, I needed to let go of the fear and embrace vulnerability. This journey wasn't easy, and I still have moments where I struggle, but I've also experienced the power of vulnerability in transforming my relationships and my own emotional well being. So, if you're listening to this podcast and you're wondering if it's possible for you to embrace vulnerability and create deeper connections with the people in your life, I'm here to tell you that it is. It won't always be easy, and there will be setbacks along the way, but the rewards are well worth it. In the upcoming episodes, we'll dive deeper into the strategies and actionable steps you can take to start embracing vulnerability in your own life. We'll discuss how to identify and overcome your fears, build self compassion, establish trust with others, and take small steps towards vulnerability every day. Together, we'll embark on a journey towards vulnerability and deeper connections in our relationships. I hope you'll join me as we learn, grow, and embrace the power of vulnerability. Thank you for tuning in to the Embracing Vulnerability, Building Deeper Connections in Adulthood podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. If you found this podcast helpful or inspiring, please consider leaving a review or sharing it with your friends and family. In the next episode, we'll dive into understanding the roots of our fears and the effects of teasing and judgment during childhood on our emotional development. We'll also explore the importance of self-reflection and how understanding our personal barriers can help us overcome them. You won't want to miss it. Remember, Vulnerability is a journey, and we're all in this together. So let's continue to support and empower each other as we navigate the challenges and celebrate the successes along the way. Until next time, stay open, stay vulnerable, and remember that every step towards vulnerability is a step towards deeper connections and a more fulfilling life. This is Vince signing off. See you in the next episode.